Now. Yeah, we got sound. Hey guys. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just make sure I've got everything running where it's meant to be running. That needs to be off. That can be on. Let me just hide things. Don't mind me. All right. I think we are alive. Let me turn down Spotify a little bit. Okay. Hi, everybody. It is me. It's me, Heather. Hi. I am Heather, the founder of Firestorm Studio, the Zbrush live streamer, the Women in Games ambassador, the CG Spectrum and Rookies speaker, the general doer of things. And I'm here to do things. We're going to do things. So today, what are we doing today? Today we are going to be working on the continuation of the marionette. So this is our marionette doll that we're busy working on. She is almost fully retopologized, which is miraculous. My volume's not right. Let's do that. So she's almost fully retopologized, which is awesome. We've got a few little pieces left to do and then a bit of a tidy up on the retopo. And then we are going to have a look at some of the pieces that can potentially be refined. We're going to refine those pieces, make sure everything is done and dusted and she's got nice clean retopology. And then after that, I guess we have to do UVs. So we're going to do some UVs. This is going to be a bit of a quiet one because I kind of need to just get things done today. I really want to get this girl finished. I'm running out of time on her. I'm struggling to find the time to work on her. So it's been a bit rough, but we're getting there, hopefully. So yeah, we're gonna work on this, and in the process of doing this, I will go through some of the little like tips and tricks of things that I've done to make my life easier, things that I've done that I've made my life harder with, and so on and so forth. That's not working for me, is it? So yeah, we're gonna go through a few little things here because as I've been working on her, I have found some not issues per se, but things that could have been done better. And we are all for improving our workflows and making sure that we do things as optimally as possible. That's what we are here for. So yeah, stick around. Let's go through some of this together. We can suffer through this together. It's a bonding moment for all of us. So let's start off with things that I've found that are problematic. Problematic things. I didn't really think things through too much when I was doing the sculpt because I was doing it live on stream and I was doing it live on Zbrush Live. So it was my first thing that I was working on for Zbrush Live and I was nervous as hell and I kind of screwed it up a little bit because I was trying to like get it done and be impressive and flashy, and I neglected some of the things that I should have paid more attention to because I was trying to like be clever on stream. so those things have all come to bite me in the ass now, and now I've got to kind of fix all of those things, but you know, here we are. Hey, Z Subfusion. Hello, love. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, while I've been working on this, I have found things that I would do better next time with. And I'm busy working on this little piece of retopology here on the lashes where this is one of those things. Like, I don't know why I didn't split this out before I did the decimation because I know I had clean topology on here and I could have just pulled it straight from ZBrush. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go into ZBrush in a second and just check my file a little bit because I think there's pieces on there that, again, I just wasn't thinking when I was working on it. So I'm going to check to see that everything's going to work because when we get to the bake, you know, we're going to have to go through the whole baking process, and there's definitely sections where I have screwed up. So I will show you the things that I know that I've made mistakes on. I'm not too I'm not too arrogant to try and hide these things. I'll show you where I've screwed everything up. But we are so close to finishing this. I can't wait to get her done, get her over that final little hurdle of baking, because the baking is going to be a hurdle. I can feel it in my bones that she's going to be a pain in the ass to try and bake. So yeah, there's that. On top of it all, I did something really silly when I was making her. So she's got 4 of these masks that I'm busy doing at the moment. And instead of being clever and, you know, making one, retopologizing one, and then positioning everything, I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't do that. So now what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go back. I'm just seeing what I did here. I think I'm going to go back into the file and adjust some of those things so that when we pull out all the bits for baking, it's got the right positioning on it and all the rest of that good stuff. Nothing ever says that you can't go back to your file and adjust your sculpt so that you you can bake easily. No one says that you can't do that. You can do that if you want to. So that's what we're going to do. All right. But yeah, stick around. Let's get some of this disaster zone kind of fixed as quickly as possible. You're going to see me like tilting my head at weird angles trying to see what I'm doing here. And yes, you're going to notice a vast amount of triangles going on. There's multiple reasons for that. First reason that I'm throwing in triangles as in where I please is that she's going to be a game model. So games, everything that gets thrown into like Unreal Engine or Unity, excuse me, are going to end up being triangulated. So all of this mesh, even if you've got like lovely quads and all the rest, it's going to get triangulated at some point anyway. So it's not a huge crisis in my existence. The other reason that you're going to see a lot of triangles, especially on this part, is that this is part of a mask that is never ever going to get animated. It is going to be a solid shape. So as long as I'm following the curvature, that's the bigger thing that I want to make sure that I'm doing. Wait until you see the face on this poor mask. It's struggling. It's full of triangles because it's got the facial expression. I hate it when it does this. The facial expression's already there. So so I kind of had to work with what was there. I'm busy thinking. Don't mind me. Thinking hurts. Thinking hurts a lot at this point. I've done a lot of retopology today. I hate it when I see this. This makes me sad. Like, can I fix this? Can I fix you? You can't fix everything. Watch me. Watch me try. I'm going to try and fix everything. Right, fuck it. Good enough. Sometimes I just get to a point where it's like, it's fucking good enough, man. So this is not, this is high. This is low. So another thing to note is that I'm going to be doing my retopology. I'm going to be doing my baking in Marmoset. What am I doing? Mask, group, low. And for that reason, I don't have to have the same names on everything because it doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. So yeah, this is where we are at the moment. Yay! It's still pretty rough. There's still things that need to be fixed. Oh, hi Pat. Hello. Welcome. There's definitely still sections that could be worked on and refined here. For example, this, which is way too dense. But I think this is just Z-remeshed mesh that I pulled out, which is going to be a pain in the ass. So I might end up having to just retopologize this. Because my usual sneaky thing of like, oh, I'll just delete every second line is not going to work in my favor on this one. Here to lurk. Oh, yeah, lurk away. I'm kind of here to lurk as well, so don't worry. I really need to get shit done at the moment. So I'm having one of those like I need to get things done. It's starting to irritate me kind of days. So I'm on a mission. I've cancelled as much as I can out of my calendar for like the next few days, just so that I can focus on getting this girl into texturing, because I've been talking about getting into texturing for about 3 weeks now, and it's kind of difficult when the only time I've got to work on her is while I'm on stream. So I'm giving myself an early birthday gift, which is time to work on her. I know. I'm wild. I'm wild with my gifting. It's good, right? But yeah, I want to get her done. I'm having a self-doubt crisis at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. This, you know, it just kind of sneaks up on you, and you suddenly have this moment where you're just like, I don't know if I'm doing anything good. So yeah, that's kind of where I am this week, which has then forced me to, I don't do the thing of like having a self-doubt and then wallowing in it. I have a self-doubt and then I get angry about it and try to prove myself wrong. So this is me proving myself wrong and proving that I do still know what I'm doing through finishing a project. It's not going to be finished this week, not by a long shot, but eventually it'll be done, and then I'll feel good about myself. Yes, my self-worth is actually tied to how many projects I release. It's true. I think every artist feels that way. Like, your entire sense of whether or not you're still an artist is whether or not you get things out on time. Which is funny, because it's something I strictly advise people against doing. I'm always like, don't tie your self-worth to, you know, likes on the internet. And yet here I am doing the same thing. I am a hypocrite. Oh, hi, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming to hang out. Welcome to a stream which is going to be mostly me rambling to myself while I do retopology. And yeah, probably nothing particularly useful, but I'm hoping it'll at least be slightly entertaining. Do as I say, not as I do. Exactly. I'm telling you that the right way to do it is not what I'm doing. So don't do what I do. But yeah, I haven't released a project, like a personal project, since April last year. It's starting to get me down, man. It's starting to get me down. I got to do something about it. So here we are. We're doing something about it. Will this be ready before April? Probably not. Every time I have like the best of intentions of getting a whole pile of my own work done, it kind of collapses and falls apart because something will happen in the studio and I'll need to like focus on that instead. So I'm hoping that I can get this done before the next big thing for the studio crops up. Let's see. Let's see if we can do the thing. Probably not. But yeah, what's everyone else doing? What are you working on? What are you involved with? Tell me your stories. I don't come here to entertain people. I come here to be entertained while I work. What are you guys doing? Tell me what you're up to. How do you feel about things? How do you deal with imposter syndrome, since I seem to be going through a crack of it at the moment? How do you deal with feeling like maybe you've fucked up? Why have I fucked up? Do I want it to do that? Don't know yet. Haven't decided. What exciting things can I tell you about retopology? So, retopology. Everyone hates retopology. Which is silly, because retopology is actually not that bad. Like, it's drawing little blue squares. Little blue squares are nice. It's not difficult. Oh, we got a new person. Hey, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. You're learning Nuke? Ugh. Let me know how it goes. I'm always looking for people that can use Nuke. There's a shortage of VFX people at the moment, I feel. Like, straight VFX, not like 3D modeling. I guess everyone wants to make the pretty character. They don't want to learn the maths behind it. Will you rig this character? I personally will not, but one of my team is going to be rigging this character, and one of our new Firestorm team members is going to be doing animation and mocap for it. But no, I'm not going to rig it. I value my sanity, or what's left of my sanity, way too much to do rigging. That's not a me thing. I should learn rigging at some point. I did rigging like way back in the day when I first got into this, because I wanted to try out, like, when I first got into 3D and CGI, I kind of wanted to dip my toes into as many things as possible to see which one I liked the most. And then obviously this is what I settled on. So this is the thing that held my attention for the longest. I have a notoriously short attention span, but doing 3D character work is the thing that I love the most. It is my favorite thing to be doing. To the point that literally today my husband was laughing at me because I said to him, I was like, I'm going to take the day to do retopology. He's like, you sound excited to do retopology. That's strange. But it's nice. Retopology is not that bad. People overestimate how difficult retopology really is. It's not difficult. It's drawing little blue squares, and if the squares look weird, then you've done it wrong. Way. Like a big jigsaw puzzle. Yeah, exactly. It's literally that. You draw the things, and eventually after you've done it enough times, you can literally just see when it looks wrong, and you go like, okay, well, that's not right, and you go and redo it. It's nice. You're right about my 3D piece Retopology was a bitch. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. It happens to the best of us. That is why when you're making stuff, if you're making a character, like, work neatly from the start. Don't leave it to become a later problem where, well, later on when I do retopology, I'll fix all of these lines and stuff. Don't do that. Rather just do it from the start. Have it nice and clean. Have it really easy to work with. And then that way, when it comes to doing retopology, it's relatively quick and easy. It's a fairly thoughtless process of just drawing little things and you're done. And that's it. Much, much, much easier. If you start off nice and clean, it'll end nice and clean. You'll have better lines and edges. You'll have better flow to it. The whole thing of like starting low on your sculpt and then working your way up is very important. Even if you go in with Dynamesh, use Dynamesh by all means to find whatever shape it is that you're going for. Find the silhouette you're looking for. And then use the remesher to remesh it so that you don't have to work on a dirty mesh. Clean mesh, better lines. Clean mesh, nicer silhouettes. Easier to work with. Low poly count, easier to sculpt with. Quicker to change, quicker to iterate. Even when I'm doing retopology, you'll see that I'll start off with like really big quads and then I'll refine it down if I need to, because it's easier working with big quads than it is working with small quads. Start big, then go small. So you may be wondering why this is looking a bit weird. I made the mistake of softening the edges on this mesh. Let me see if I can unsoften these edges. Hold on. Better. Start big, famous gambler last words. Discord links expired? Oh no! Hold on. I will find you a Discord link because I'm that lovely. Let me find you a Discord link. Let me get the right Discord link. Ta-da! Join our Discord, guys. Come and say hi. Just come out of meetings. What did you miss? Absolutely nothing. Little blue squares all over the damn place. That's what you missed. Thanks for joining, though. I miss you. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to hang out with you in like forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I swear I'll get back to normal life at some point and actually spend time with people. At some point. I don't know when that point is, but at some point. Also, for those of you that are in and around London, I will be at the... Well, I say London. In and around the UK. I will be at Guildford Games Festival on the 20th of February. So if you are around or if you're going to be at the Guildford Game Festival, give me a shout. It would be nice to get to meet some people. I'll be out there representing Firestorm Studio. So you can come and say hi, get to meet me and some of the team. And you'll also be able to pick up some of our collectible cards that we've made. Yay. Yay. Yay, question mark. I was meant to be going to the Gamers Night on 12th of February in London, but I've decided to give that a miss because I'm too old to be going out on a Thursday night and I'm terrible at karaoke. I know, who would have thought that my voice would be bad at singing? Such a melodious voice. Oh, you got questions. Do you guys host internship? We don't at the moment. We do when we have big long-term projects that we're working on. So at the moment, all of our projects that we are currently on are short-term. So it's not worth the interns' time to bring them in on a short-term project. You wouldn't get anything from it. But we do take on interns when we have like multiple month-long contracts that we can get someone involved with and they can actually like be a part of the team and learn and all the rest of those things. But yeah, keep an eye on our socials. We do post every now and again when we have jobs and internships and competitions and all the rest of it going on. So it is there at various points if you want to get involved. Best place to find out what we're doing is Discord. Still showing invalid invite. That's because you might be in the wrong place. Oh, you're on YouTube. That's why. Hold on. Let me... Oh, I don't have the energy to do this now. No, go onto Discord. I posted the link on Discord. Hold on. I'll post it onto YouTube as well. Hold on. Keep holding on. Let me pause that. Scroll. Hey, hello YouTube chat. There you go. That's me. Click on that little link that I've just posted and you will be able to come and say hi to us. Happy days. Let's see. Hard life being big studio boss lady. I mean, I'm trying my best, man. I'm trying my best. It's been rough. I'm very tired. I'm very tired, and I'm very much looking forward to taking some time off at some point. It's been fun, but oh boy, I'm tired now. It's been really good. Studio's going really well. We have had some amazing success in I'm the most I'm difficult. I'm difficult to myself because I always want things to be bigger and better, no matter how good they are. I want things to be better. I want things to be better. I want things to be better. And so the studio's done incredibly. The team's doing incredibly. We've got some incredible projects that we're working on. The level of success that we've had in the past 6 months has been, I had no idea that we would be able to achieve it so quickly. It's been absolutely fantastic. And yet I still, every day I'm sitting there going like, how can I beat the score? How can I do better? How can I achieve more? How can the team do better? Like, what can I do to make things easier? What can I do to make things more fun? So I'm just constantly, I think it's just part of my nature. I'm very competitive, and I'm very competitive against myself first and foremost. So yeah, hopefully maybe I'll learn to get better with that. Okay, so our girl is more or less done in terms of retopology. I don't know if we should throw a celebration or not. Here's issues that I have though. Issues. So issue number 1, when I did the retopology, this and this are not matching up. There's a gap in between there, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I don't want to admit the reason why. And if I admit the reason why, then I'm going to have to go ahead and fix the whole damn thing. So here we go. We're going to fix the whole damn thing. Stop being lazy. Go and fix the thing. Let's do... Oh, wrong one. That one. So that's where the problem is. So this is one of the things that I was working on when I was doing... I was doing this section in Zbrush, and I found that the pieces that I did in Zbrush, I've had to come in and do a lot of fixing on. A lot of fixing. For the retopology, at least. So it is what it is, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. Like, I'm not going to judge it too harshly until we do the bake. And then once we do the bake, I'll see just how much has or has not worked, and where we're going to have to do like a lot of different fixes. Holy moly. What are we holy molying? What's holy moly? What's holy moly? You holy moly. Wait, this isn't what I want. We need this to be different. Oh, the triangles? Okay, so that's decimated mesh though. That's why. So yeah, that's the high poly mesh, which is very decimated, which is why there's triangles all over it. That is normal. It is normal. It's really funny. Like, I talk about this quite a lot. I've seen so many people go on Reddit. There's the Topology Gore Reddit threads thingy. And there's so many times that I've seen people being like, oh my god, look at all the triangles in this. And it's like, yeah, because it's decimated mesh. Decimated mesh has triangles. It's normal. That's how you decimate a mesh. This isn't the mesh that I'm using for bakes, guys. This is just, it is a high poly mesh, the original sculpt, decimated down as much as possible. In fact, it's decimated enough that this, I think I was decimating it down to like 10,000 triangles at a time, just because I just needed the outline to be there to work with. I didn't really care if it was a good mesh. So I'm just adding these triangles because those are going to hold the shape for me. This is the other thing to remember, is that if you are working in a game mesh, like, triangles are not the enemy. Triangles are fine. Triangles are okay. They're not going to hurt you. Triangles in the right places aren't going to hurt you. Triangles in the wrong places are going to hurt you. And the next question everyone's going to ask is, so where's the wrong place for a triangle? Wrong place for a triangle is anywhere where the triangle itself is going to cast a weird, I want to say shadow error. Shadow error. Artifact is the word I'm looking for, where it's going to give you a weird artifact on the mesh. That's where you don't want your triangles to be. The other places you don't want it to be is anywhere where it's going to be collapsing, moving, animating, and so on. So as long as it's not going to be animated, which hilariously this is going to be, but I'm cruel like that. Yeah, then you're kind of all right. You can see I've ended a lot of things in triangles here. It's normal for a game mesh to have triangles. It's absolutely fine. You will be okay. I promise. I promise. I know it's counterintuitive. I know, but it's going to be okay. Hello, how do you go about increasing frontal and rear distances in Substance Painter? If it increases too much, unless say the trinket or too little on the main body, since you can't increase or decrease depending per mesh. Good question. I have no idea. I would probably just go in and change my camera setting as I'm busy working on things and just adjust it. Are you texturing or you're not rendering in there, are you? Please don't render in Substance Painter. But yeah, if you're doing texture work, then you can just adjust as you go through things. Yeah. Have you ever heard there's not enough quads? Not enough quads? There's plenty of quads. Oh God, you're baking in Substance. Shit, I'm not the right person to ask that. I don't bake in Substance. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And that's one of the reasons that I don't bake in there, because as far as I know, and I could be very wrong on this, could be very wrong. As far as I know in Substance Painter, when you're doing, so you're talking about the distance, like the cage, on each of the things you can't adjust it. It is what it is. It's like one static distance. As far as I know, I don't know if there's a plugin that can fix that. That's why I use Marmoset. Marmoset, you can adjust it and you can use kind of like weight painting on it, where you can determine at different areas where you want it to be closer or further away. I find personally that Substance Painter baking is very rudimental. It's not as good as Marmoset. Marmoset is much better. You tried using Marmoset to adjust it, but it didn't help in the end, especially on the cuffs of the coat, on the rim of the hat on the pirate. Marmoset is better for baking. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it's giving you errors like that. The other thing you can always do, don't ever forget that, like, if you ever need to cheat, if you find that there's like occlusion issues on your actual bake sheets, you can always take in the ambient occlusion map into something like Photoshop and you just clean it up, tidy it up, get rid of it. You just manually adjust it. There's no shame in cheating. It's okay. I do it a lot. So yeah, that's an option. Look at all those triangles. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that decimated mesh. Sexy. It's funny. Okay, what was I doing? I've got to find the thing. Where is it? Not that one. Oh my god. I've lost my mesh. There it is. Okay, so that's got its names. Right. I need to go through each of these different layers and check all of the different layers to make sure all of them are kind of alright. So we are going to take our high poly and hide it for now because we don't need it. Yay. And let's do this. We need to organize. Ugh. Tedious. Let's do the tedious organization. Actually, before we get stuck into doing the tedious organization of things, let's take a 2-minute break. It's time for a word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is, why is baking the worst part of doing anything? Everyone says it's retopology, but it's not. It's baking. Baking is the worst part because that's where you find all your mistakes. And today's sponsor is... got to think of a sponsor for today. Anxiety. Today's sponsor is Anxiety. Today's stream is brought to you by my anxiety and caffeine addictions. I'll see you in 2 secs, guys. I will be right back. Hey, I'm back. All right. I see we had another question about the baking that I missed. About Retopo and baking on ruffles, for example. So close together that baking issues occasions intersecting on itself. Retopologing is hard because they're close together. Making a custom cage. Yeah, making a custom cage is usually the solution. I make custom cages on pretty much everything. Um, Again, that's why I use Marmoset because then you can customize your cage entirely. So I would, yeah, for the ruffles, like the ruffles that I'm busy doing, what I'll end up doing is I'm going to split them out entirely from everything. And then once I've pulled everything apart, then I can start working on things. I've just realized that I've got cloth that I need to be able to see. So, for example, let's do these ones. Let's make those live. So this is something else that I was working on in Zbrush and then switched over to working here. And yeah, now I'm going to have to go in and fix a lot of stuff because the Zbrush stuff is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to give you, it's not as good. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't as good as working in just straight up Maya for doing the retopology. I say Maya before anyone shoots me. Maya, Blender, etc. Again, I work in Maya because that's what I'm used to working in. See, here I wasn't very nice to myself. This is where I've like tortured myself in the process of doing things. I should have sculpted this with retopology in mind. Whenever you're sculpting, you should be sculpting with retopology in mind to make it easier for yourself down the line. And I didn't do that here. So now I've got to try and like work out how I'm going to get the retopology to sit on this, which is problematic. It's doable, but it's problematic. I was kind of going backwards and forwards as to whether I was going to make this just a single-sided piece for the ruffle, but in the end I've decided that I'm going to make it a actual solid mesh with thickness because I can. That's why. That's my reasoning. I actually don't know why. That's why I'm just doing it. Let's go big brain concentration. Gotta remind myself to sit up straight and not slouch. Oh, my timing was so good for reminding myself that. Hey, dead dude, how are you? Nice to see you. How's things back home? I heard like half of the Eastern Cape or Western Cape is on fire at the moment. Are you okay? Did you start the fire? Hate the nuns. Yes, I know. You see, that's where I should have been nicer to myself. It's one of those things where like I should have been nicer to myself and made sure that I didn't have that problem now while I was doing the sculpting. But things are sweltering. Ew, gross. You're on your own. It is a very comfortable 4 degrees or something here. No, I'm joking. I think it's about 10 at the moment. Just making sure that that's actually going to capture correctly. Yeah, I don't miss how hot South Africa is. I really, really don't. Every now and again, I have this moment of like, summer. I miss summer and how sunny things are. And then I remember that with summer comes 40-degree heat and generally dying. You can keep it. I'm alright with not doing that. I'll keep my icy temperatures instead. It's nice. So this is why we're going to get a lot of triangles, because a lot of triangles are needed in this mesh. Oops. Hello. What's your opinion about Blender for modeling and amateur? Go for it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Blender's great. Okay, here we go again. Right. Dear editing team, I'm so sorry that once again I'm talking about Blender. There's nothing wrong with using Blender. I think Blender is incredible. It's a really good tool to use, especially in the past like 3 years or so. It's really, really jumped up and it's ranking very highly. It does what needs to be done. It's got sponsorship from Netflix. It's winning awards for animation, all kinds of things. Like, yeah, go for it. There's nothing wrong with using Blender. It's really good. For modeling, go for it. It's a cheap alternative. If you haven't already started learning Blender, if you're new to it, Blender's a really good option. It's free, which is great, apart from your plugins and stuff that you might want to get. Free is always good. We like free. So yeah, go for it. There's nothing wrong with it. I use Maya because I've just always used Maya and I don't have the time or inclination to learn another new software. If I'm going to learn another new software, I would rather be learning something that's going to teach me something that I don't already know how to do. I already know how to do modeling in this as it is, so I don't want to have to go and learn something else to learn something that I can already do. But no, yeah, go for it. Blender good, Blender nice, no problem with Blender. I do not have a war with Blender. I don't have a war with software in general because honestly, who fights with software? Use whatever you're happy using. You could use any software, and if you're a shit artist, you're going to be a shit artist. It doesn't matter what you use. It's, you know, a bad workman blames his tools. Doesn't matter. Use whatever you're comfortable and happy using. Use whatever you can afford to use. Just go and make stuff. That's it. That's my thoughts on Blender. In the same regard, like if you're comfy using Maya, use Maya. Nothing wrong with it. Maya's still winning awards as well. Maya's still got good stuff going about it. Ta-da. 10 degrees would be utterly delightful. It is rather nice. I'm not going to lie. It's very pleasant. I'm also a big fan of like cold weather. I'd rather have cold and then get snuggly than it be all like sweaty and gross and ugh. I vote no. Is it still worth learning 3D for a job or just for a hobby? Yes. So it depends. Depends on how much stickability you have, in my opinion. I can't lie to you and say that it's easy at the moment. It's not. The market is incredibly oversaturated with people because of things like Blender. Blender makes it really easy for everyone to learn, which is great. But it means that there's an oversaturated market of people who have the same skill set as you. If you are willing to go in there and beat everyone and be the best at it, then yeah, do it. There's still room for people. There's still room for artists. Like, absolutely. But be aware that the competition is fierce and you're going to have to work twice as hard as the person next to you in order to stand out. It's always worth learning something new anyway. Like, why not? In terms of jobs at the moment, it's a tough market. We all know that. It's always been a tough market. It's gotten harder. But yeah, if you've got the stickability and it's something that you're passionate about and it's what you really want to be doing, then do it. Absolutely go for it. Don't let other people tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing with your time and energy. If you want to do it, you'll do it. I had someone the other day, yesterday actually, talking to me about, you know, starting their own business or what they wanted to do with it. And the answer is like, if you do it, but then know what you're getting yourself into, be aware of how difficult it is, and then do it anyway. As long as you are prepared for the battles that are to come, then you will be fine. Go for it. That is not to say that it's easy at the moment. It's not. We all know that the industry's taken a bit of a hit. But then, you know, the games industry has taken a very public hit. Everyone knows that the games industries and the film industry and stuff has been struggling recently. We are all aware of it. But every industry is going through that. A lot of industries that you haven't thought of yet are also struggling. AI, money, all the rest of it has affected many different industries. So again, if it's something that you're passionate about and you want to do it, the only thing that's holding you back is yourself. I'm here doing it. I do it as a full-time job. I do 3D modeling as a full-time job. I do freelancing. I run a studio. I want to do it. I want to be doing this. And therefore, if one thing isn't going to provide me with enough income to make it a sustainable career path, great. I'll do 20 other things at the same time, as long as I still get to do this one thing that I really want to be doing as well. Which is kind of what I'm doing now. That's why you can catch me doing mentoring, teaching, education, talks for schools, talks for universities, life coaching, and everything else. There's loads of things that you can still be doing and make money out of it. Hey, Peter's here. Oh, hell yeah. Safe careers can be shied. Absolutely agree. That's exactly it. Like, if you are passionate about it, if it's what you want to be doing, do it. Life is incredibly long. Life is long. And if you're in a career that you're not happy in, you spend 8 hours of your day at work, minimum. 8 hours of your day at work, right? There's 24 hours in a day. You sleep for 8 hours. You work for 8 hours. And what's left in between is commuting and doing chores. You better enjoy what you're doing for those 8 hours at work. It's the biggest chunk of your time. So there. Okay, let's go through different pieces. Yay! We're finally getting to the finishing line of Retopology, and then we can start doing UVs. Woo! Thanks for asking. Oh, you're welcome! Anytime, that's what I'm here for. I love getting to do that. And don't forget to come and join us on Discord, where you get to hang out with me and the rest of the Firestorm team in person-ish, online. But we're always around on Discord chatting to people and stuff as well, so, you know, come and say hi to us there. And if you like what is happening on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe over on YouTube, or follow and subscribe on Twitch. Subscribe, go on. It's like $5 or something. $5 a month. Go on, subscribe. You get the additional bonus of me loving you. And no adverts, which is also quite cool. Yeah, anyone that subscribes gets extra love and affection in all of our different channels, because you guys are the ones that are literally keeping things going for us and helping us pay our bills and pay our rent and keep the studio running. So thank you to all of our lovely subscribers and people that donate every month and all the rest of it. You guys are amazing. All right, we have low topology. Look at us go. Look at us fucking go. So we are going to be working on this as a game character, which means that we're not going to be using UDIMs. We are going to be using a material set workflow. What a material set workflow looks like is very different. It means that we are going to minimize the amount of tiles that we use for this character. We are going to be using, I usually use between 4 and 5. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go a little bit higher on this one. Probably not, to be honest. But yeah, usually 4 to 5 tiles. 5 is pushing my luck. 4 is usually where I sit with things. Normally, the way I split things out would be hair on one tile, eyes on one tile, skin on one tile, cloth on one tile, and then if I need to, I'd have accessories on a separate tile. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different. So let me get you an example of what is Heather talking about? Well, here we go. Let's have a look at what a material set workflow looks like. This is the witch. Yay, everyone cheer for the witch. So you can see for the witch, we had a whopping 5 tiles that we used for the entire character. We've got a skin tile, we had a hair tile. She didn't have eyes, so we didn't need an eye tile. I did a metal and accessories tile so that I could get certain things to have a bit of a shimmer and sheen onto it, because I'm going to be rendering in Marmoset, which allows me to adjust things. And then over here we have the cloth, and over here I think it was just metal and accessories or something. 4 to 5 including hair and eyes. Yeah, so this one was 5 but no eye tile. Let's see. It's usually 4 to 5. I think it's usually 4 to 5. Let's go into this guy, see if I've got a tile layout for him. The way I kind of work it out is I'm going to do my render in Marmoset. He's got 5 tiles, but his tiles are not very well laid out. So I'm going to be doing my render in Marmoset. And with Marmoset, it makes it really easy for you to adjust your individual materials. So your materials are... Think of it like your materials are the brick wall onto which you paint, and your paint is your material that you texture. Your textures are that. So when you have everything on one tile, you can assign a material to that, and you can adjust that material in your render engine. So you can then say, add subscattering to it, or adjust the amount of, I don't know, blue it has on it. You can adjust the color tones, but everything that's on that tile is going to be affected by those changes. So what you want to do is make sure that your tiles are set up that your items that are going to have the same adjustments all together. So you want it all to be in one place. That's basically how it works. So we're going to go through that now, and I'm going to show you how I do my setup. Before I do that, you had trouble with texture density on your realistic characters, so I had to add more sets. Yeah, for realistic characters, it's very different. Yeah, realistic characters can be a little bit tricky. You don't necessarily need to increase it. You can kind of work with what you've got. Especially with games, there's a lot of tricks that you can use in order to get that realism across without increasing the amount of tiles that you're using. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're limiting the amount of tiles that you're using so that you can optimize for gameplay if you're doing game-based stuff. If you are doing something for film or animation or cinematic or just for fun, you can use a UDIM workflow. And in the UDIM workflow, it allows you to take something like the skin. You can assign a material to all of your skin, but then you can space it out over multiple tiles so that it's across multiple pieces. That'll give you a higher textile density when you're working with it later. But for this, where it's very stylized, it's very game optimized, you want to use as few tiles as possible because it helps your rendering, especially for your real-time things. You want it to be able to render really quickly so that computers don't crash and burn and die. A really good example of this is if you have a look at like League of Legends characters, which fascinate me. League of Legends, those characters in League of Legends, they're all hand painted, and they only have 7,000 triangles per character. 7,000 triangles, which means it's only 3,500 quads. Now, that to me is absolutely insane. That's incredible because our low poly over here is currently sitting at 75,000 triangles. so yeah, you can imagine what those poor bastards have to go through. Yeah, really clever texturing, really clever maneuvering on things there, I think. But yeah, I've lost track of what I was doing. You use some normal maps that I applied an engine for the ports leather. Yeah. That's a good way of doing it. Yeah. I don't work in realism. I've got a really good. Actually, I'm gonna go loot his stuff as well. Hold on, let me see if I can find his art station. We'll use him as an example. Actually, we can. Oh no, we'll use this one. It's fine. Let's see, Sayed. He's hard to find on here. So this is another person's work. Welcome to the Firestorm website, everyone. Woo, firestormstudio.com or firestormstudio3d.com. Go and check out our entire thing. So this is Saeed, and his work is absolutely incredible. He focuses on realism in all of his work. Let me see. Let me turn that down. That's annoying. So his stuff is all like hyper realism. His is more, this one was a film-based character, so it's a Udemy workflow that he's used for it, but the level of detail that he's got in here is just absolutely wild. It's so good. So good. Lot higher poly count. Much higher poly count. But yeah, he's incredibly talented. Me, I stick with pretty girls. I like pretty girls. Like, I make pretty cartoon girls. You see a lot of people using metahumans or VPOs. Yeah. I'm a big fan of like learning how to do it yourself and then finding the cheat way to do it. So it's the same as like using a base mesh, which is a conversation I have all the time with this. When I'm doing sculpting now, I'll use a base mesh as my base before I start sculpting. But it's because I've taken the time to learn how to make a base mesh for myself to be able to do that. If you're learning, you need to learn from the lowest level and then work your way up the ladder. You can't just jump forward and go like, well, I'm going to use this, and that way I don't ever have to know these things. Like, you still need to learn it. You need to learn it. You need to understand. So getting back to our material sets that we're going to be working on, what I'm going to do to begin with is start grouping things together that are going to be part of the same material, really. So all the metal bits and pieces are all going to go into one group. So these hands as well, those are going to be grouped, and that's going to be called metal group _ low. My mask, which is all by itself, I'm trying to think, a mask might go in there as well. The mask is technically going to be a ceramic, but I think we can pop it into metal and see what happens. So this mask, I'm only actually going to retopologize the one mask, because then we're going to duplicate it out. She's got 3 that sit on her hip over here, but we'll just duplicate it out in the final render and pop it onto the sides there so that I don't have to worry about it too much. Let me see what else we've got. We've got a head, which is all by itself. And the head, she doesn't have a lot of skin. There's no skin on this character. She's got skin on her face, and that's it. So that's all the skin that we got. So I wonder if I could, the skin's going to need to have subsurface scattering. I'm trying to think if I can sneak and put her hair in, because there's not a lot of hair either. And she's only got a little bit of hair. I wonder if I can cheat and put the hair in with the skin. I'm going to do it. Should I do it? I'm not sure if I should do it or not. We could technically put the body into the metal group as well. Cloth is cloth. Mask group is mask group. Let's put the mask in with metal. Let's leave the hair as is. Let's leave the head, except I want to pull the tears out, because I want the tears to have a separate, they're going to get a glass shader. Whoa, what's that? Whoa. Whoa. Did I not do the tears? No. Okay, so this is something that happens when you break your brain. When you extract stuff from... Why is this not working? There we go. If you are pulling things out of Zbrush, occasionally it'll bring everything out like this, which is really, really annoying. And I'm sure there's a really cool fix for this, but I've never bothered finding it. I always just fix it here. It's probably just an export setting. So all I've done is I've just grabbed that. I'm assuming it's going to go all the way up to here, to be honest, because there's literally only a head. Whoa, tears. Very nice. Okay, so that one, we're going to go in and we are going to combine it and hope we don't crash everything. Ah, greetings from San Francisco. Nice. Hey. Hey. It's going slowly, but we're getting there. Also save. Good shout. Good shout. Let's save. It's getting there. It's going slowly, but eventually it will be done. Eventually. So we're going to put the tears onto a separate thing. What I need to do now is just kind of merge all these verts together, because otherwise it's going to still fall apart. So when you combine everything, it's going to give you a whole pile of bullshit to deal with here. And I'm just going to go into edit, delete all by type history, and that should clear it out. Pray that it doesn't crash. Yay. So this is going to be tears, low. And the reason why we want these to potentially be on their own little tile is that we're going to make them completely transparent. So we're going to change the material on there to be something that's got like a high transparency value, something similar to glass really, so that it can be seen through and cute. That's my logic. I'm sticking with it. Why is this not doing what I wanted to do? For why? Oh no. Because I'm a fool of a toque. So going back to what I was actually doing, selecting all the verts, and we're going to go to merge vertices, and that's going to actually combine everything into one piece. Because what it was doing there, the reason it wasn't like stringing them all together is because it wasn't all together, it was individuals. So let's drop that down to there, and then we can just kind of do that. And that should do it. If you ever want to check to see if things are working properly, if you do that and you get a string, yay, it's all connected. Nice. So let's delete these back faces because we don't need them. Woohoo. Hate the groups coming out of Zbrush. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I have no idea. I keep threatening to do this, but I'm gonna mark it down as something that I'm gonna check with the Zbrush guys. I've got my stream with them tomorrow, so I'll speak to the guys then and see if there's like a rational reason as to why they have it that way, and also if it's just like an export setting that I haven't figured out yet. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. I'm sure. So I'm just busy tidying up the mesh while I'm busy going through it, because if I can reduce my poly count, why not reduce my poly count, you know? Let's reduce it even more. Where am I? There I am. I wonder if we can do this. This might not work. This may... Oh no, it worked fine. That'll do. We'll just collapse. Oh my god, it's Firestorm Stan. Hey Firestorm Stan, how are you? Ridiculous. My own team mocking me. So much mocking. Let's do soften. Yeah. Okay, so tears are going to just hang out by themselves for now. Let's check while I'm doing this. Let's go through all of this individually. So keys are going to get moved into metal. Yum. While I'm doing this, I'm also just like giving it a bit of a sense check to make sure that it's going to do the things that I need it to do. Fuck it, this takes too long. Hold on. It's that little mill script that I use all the time. I don't know, I've got everything on the same screen. Ah, found it. Woohoo! Select every second edge. And then I'm just going to go in and deselect the ones that I don't want selected. Probably delete more than that. Gonna leave it in there for now though. Let's see these guys. We are being ruthless. See what nonsense has been. You can't change it. Yay. That's amazing. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, what was Stanhos, by the way? What was the Stanhos thing? I didn't understand why you were Stanhos at any point. You're going to change it because you found a story. No, that is the reason to joke about it. That is exactly the reason to joke about it. If we can't laugh about these things, you know, all we do is cry. You came late, so you didn't get to see Retopology. Oh, did you use Zbrush? I did. I did right in the beginning when I first started doing the Retopology. I used Zbrush. It was interesting. There are upsides, there are downsides. Go ahead and check out my previous videos where you can see me talking about it in depth. I've spoken about it in depth on some of my other videos. It's an interesting experience. I don't downplay it. It's useful. It's good. There's a lot of good things about it. It wasn't going to get us to the final point of the Retopology, but it was a good place to start, which was nice. It's okay. So it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I think for something that's only just come out, you know, literally a few months back, it's pretty good. I had a few issues with it, like this I did with the ZBrush Retopology brush, and there were a few things that didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to, but don't write it off. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So yeah, this is where we are right now. Let's I'm busy thinking. I'm thinking whether or not I want to put things all in the same group or not. Do you know what? We're going to put the tears in with the head and just call it a day. It's fine. I'll figure out how to do something with that later. Right, so material sets. What are we going to do for material sets? What's that? It's time for a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsors are anxiety and caffeine, the two things that get me through every day and keep me motivated to carry on working. I'll be back in just a second, guys. Enjoy this break. All right, I'm back. Here we are. Let's go again. So yeah, material sets. Let's do it. We are going to assign different materials to everything. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this, which is the Hypershade. And the Hypershade is going to show you all of the different materials that you've already got on your project, which is terribly exciting. And what I'm going to do with that information is I'm going to switch out so I can actually see when people are talking to me from other channels. And then I'm going to go and edit it, and I'm going to delete any unused nodes. Just because I can and because I want it to be neat and tidy. I'm going to pop that on the other screen because you don't really need to see what I'm doing with it there. And I'm now going to assign material. So I'm going to assign a favorite material. I'm going to assign a Lambert to it. So we now have a cloth Lambert. Wow. And we're going to change this to cloth. Wow. I'm also going to change it to cloth_matte just because I can. For head, we're going to do the same thing. You'll see that everything's changing to this very bright white color. I don't know why, but it's a weird default setting. You can go in there and change it if you really want to, but I can't be asked. Oh, model looks nice. Thank you. So we're going to change this one. We're going to assign a material. We're going to assign another Lambert. Now we're going to change this to head _matte. This is our hair one. Let's grab that. And our hair is going to be changed to, whoa, what is this? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? What is it? Why is it giving me an error? We'll ignore it. It's fine. Let's change that to Lambert. This is going to be hair matte. Then we're going to go to metal and we're going to change that to Lambert. Metal _matte. So that is great. The reason it was giving me a bit of an error there is because I already have a material called metal that came in from, I think, when I was messing around with the coloring and stuff in Zbrush. Now I hate this. I don't know why, but for some reason it doesn't want to give me the editing. It's so annoying. Why are you like this? Let's close that down. Let's go to edit, delete all by type history. In fact, what we'll do is we'll do a nice clean save. We'll go file. What am I doing? Save scene as. Look at us incrementally saving like adults. My God, we're so good. I am actually going to go in and change all of these things now. So all of those Lamberts that we just set up, we're going to change that color to a darker shade of gray. You can change it to whatever color you want. You can go completely insane with it. Be my guest. I'm not going to stop you from changing it to pink. But I'm just going to change these to a darker shade of gray for now so that... Actually, do I want it to be a darker shade? Yeah, fuck it. Darker shade of gray. The reason being is that I still have to do my UVs and it's going to be a pain in the ass if it's not just gray. So... I'm just being nice to myself and giving myself a dark gray to work with. Metal. Change that to dark gray. We can always change it back later if we really wanted to. So yay! Retopology done. She's so happy. Save. Let's do it. Let's do the thing. You know what? We're gonna do it this way. Let's do UVs. We love UVs. I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna go to UVs. I'm going to say delete UVs. So it's gonna delete any UVs that are already there, because when you're busy working on it, it's gonna assign random UVs and it thinks it's knows what it's doing, but you don't want it to be doing that anyway. And now we're going to go into our individuals. Now, everyone freaks out about UVs because UVs are really complicated, and there are some really cool and complicated ways to do it really, 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 really well. I am going to do it a fast and easy way instead because I am lazy. So I'm just going to hit camera based, and then from camera based, I'm going to go to cut and sew tool, go to edge, and I'm going to work out where to put my cuts and sews. It's that easy, guys. It's that easy. Now we're going to control, no, we don't even control click, we just click. We click and select where we want it to run to. I should have a clean line that runs all the way through here. Yay, I do. I'm so nice to myself. And whoopsie. And if you find that you've wibbled your way through and you've connected the wrong things, just hit control and change it. Easy. easy peasy lemon squeezy. It is as simple as that. So now we have got that done. Press Q, which will take you out of whatever tool you're working on. Tool you're working with. And we are going to go to UV editor. Normally when I'm doing UVs, I have it set up on a different screen so I can see what I'm doing and work on two different screens. But because that's going to be really annoying for you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and dock this somewhere. Aren't I lovely? Aren't I just the fucking best? Can I dock you over here? She said with a malicious grin. Can I dock things here? I can never remember how to dock things here. Wait, UV. I can put you over here. Usually I fit you here. Why aren't you doing what I want you to do? Am I the only person that struggles with this? Or like, is it a standard process of everyone not being able to get the damn thing to sit properly? Is it just me? It is just me, isn't it? It's just me, I knew it. Why are you being so difficult? For what reason are you not wanting to do what I'm asking you to do? Like, it shouldn't be this complicated. Is there a faster way to dock things? And yes, I'm giggling every time I say the word dock. And I think I've just crashed everything, so that's cool. Do you also use Blender or do you prefer Maya instead? I've just crashed Maya, so right now I'm about to go and like learn Blender instead of it because I hate it when it crashes. I use Maya because I've always used Maya. I used Blender briefly when I wanted to take a crack at it and see what it was like. It was nice. It was fine. I just didn't have the hours to learn a whole new software, so I've never really bothered going back into it. That said, Blender's good. It's nice. It's got a nice workflow. It's nice and clean. The interface is nice. It didn't crash as often as I crashed Maya, which is also cool. But, you know, that's also me and my computer, as you can see, which is stuttering at the moment. Okay, let's give it a moment to think about its life. Maybe I should be really nice and delete the high poly. There, now you don't have to struggle quite so much, Maya. You should be okay now. But yeah, no, I use Maya. I use Maya literally because it's what I started with. I've only been doing 3D since 2021. 2021 is when I first opened Maya. 2022 is when I first joined CG Spectrum as a student. 2024 is when I graduated, and 2025, end of 2025 is when I opened a studio. So I'm still a baby, guys. I'm still learning. I'm learning fast, but I'm still learning. And yeah, in that time, I just haven't had time to learn a whole new software. Hey, Warrior Maddie, how are you? How you doing there, love? Let's go back to this. UV editor, I swear to God, if you could just like sit where I want you to sit, that would be absolutely smashing. I'm gonna have to Google, like, is there a faster way to dock the UV editor? UV editor. Why can't I get you to sit in a separate screen? I hate this. Oh, do you know what? I'm a fool. Let's just go up here and go to UV editing. Everyone just pretend you didn't see that. It's fine. No one saw any of that. No one saw me crashing it. No one saw me ruining things. You know procedural texture in Maya? Yeah, I do actually. Weirdly, I do. I do know how to do procedural texturing in Maya. I haven't done it in about 4 years, but I do. Yeah, I know how to do procedural texturing in Maya. I also know how to do Photoshop texturing as part of that, so like creating textures in Photoshop and then bring them in and all the rest of it. I don't recommend it. No one does that. It's a waste of time. Don't do that. Just go and learn how to use Substance Painter. Life is too short for that. Okay, right. It's been a struggle, but we actually have a UV editor on our page. Let's do this all over again. Okay, UV camera based, UV cut and sew, edge loop, let's go. And it's usually at this part of the entire process that I will go and start listening to a podcast and then just listen to a podcast while I'm doing things. Is this where I want it to be? Yeah, why not? So all I'm doing at the moment is I'm just hitting unfold. It's not going to be like beautifully done and all the rest of it. The way I tend to do my workflow is that I will do a very basic UV squish layout in Maya, and then I'm going to go across to Rhizome and do a lot of the cleanup and tidying in Rhizome instead. So I do that. Oh, it feels so good, KZN. Hello, my love. Hello, hello. It's nice to see you. How have you been? What's the weather like back home? Whereabouts in KZN are you? I need to know. I need to know where you are. I grew up in Durban. And I lived on the bluff. Rough and tough and from the bluff. Let's go UV camera base. UV cut so. Go over to edges. Let's see. Also, when you're doing your UV cuts, like, it's really not that complicated. Just try and put them somewhere where it's not going to get seen. Put it underneath. Put it in the bottom. Put it up against something so that people aren't going to see it. That's all there is to it. UVs are easy. Unfold. Whoa, look at that. They're unfolded. I'll go in and tidy these all out later. Like, this is just the initial slap a UV onto it. We can fiddle with each of them individually as we go. Why? Because that's just how I think things through. There's probably other people that want to do the whole thing in one go, but I'm, whoopsie, not that person. Oh, I'm missing things. Kazan, it's a city in Russia. No ways. KZN is what we use for KwaZulu-Natal in Durban. That's what I was like. You live in South Africa, right? Shit, you don't. Damn, you're still one of my favorites though. So it's fine. That's amazing. Raisin is software. I've never heard of it. What's it like? No, Rhizome. R-I-Z-O-M. So Rhizome is a software that you can use to work with your UVs. It's just a UV software. It's a really nice UV software, but it's a really nice one to use. Yeah, wrong button. See, and this is why I do this while I'm listening to a podcast, because honestly, it's just repetitive action. I actually like doing UVs because it's really easy. It's the easiest part of everything. You don't have to think too hard about it. You just have to, whoopsie, make sure you hit the right buttons at the right time and put little snippy snips. Like, it's easy. It's nice. It's relaxing. There's no thought to it. Oh. Ah. See? I do that and then I was like, why is it not working? Helps if you have a UV to cut. So where is my front? So that's the front. I'll put it somewhere there maybe. Yeah. So when it slaps it on with a camera-based UV, it doesn't matter where you are positioning your camera, really, because you're going to adjust those UVs anyway. This is just getting an initial UV down onto it. We're going to change a whole pile of it shortly. Oops. Thrilling stuff. You know, unitize option Maya is best to unwrap complex shapes. Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. I don't use it, but yeah, it's a good way of doing it. I prefer doing a lot of stuff manually. Like, I think it annoys a lot of people how much of the stuff I'll do manually rather than relying on something else. I'm a bit of a control freak when it comes to things, so I like to be able to check each individual mesh as I go, which is why you'll see me like checking and moving things around as well. And the same thing applies when it comes to doing UVs and UV layout. I will hand position all of my stuff every single time rather than just using an automatic layout or something like that. Automatic layout is not great. Oh. I found a boo-boo. I found a mistake. Not the best way to fix something, but it'll do. Oopsie. Hmm. Hmm. What has broken? No, wrong button. Why is that one not working? Object X, let's see. Let's find out why our mesh is broken. It's on here. Let's go here and just delete that one. And then let's see if we can just get it to bridge now. Oh, no. Huh, interesting. Let's switch that off. Bridge, that worked. Bridge. Weird. Let's do this one again. I'm just going to delete those UVs because I'm too lazy to go in and fix them. UV, camera base, UV, cut and sew tool. And then UV shell. I just want to see what this one looks like. Yeah. I might cut along top later, but for now it's fine. This one is not going to go well. I can sense it from a distance. This one's going to be a pain in the ass to work with. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to switch off the grid. Where's my grid? There it is. So let's go UV, delete UVs. Click on there, UV, cut. Oopsie. Sorry. Now, what is this? Object mode. Right, UV, camera based, UV, cut and sew. So I'm gonna try something. I'm not sure how well this is gonna work. I'm going to try and do it this way. And then I'm also gonna just put a cut at the back here because it's huge. In fact, I might put one there and one there as well. And just split it into some smaller pieces. Just because otherwise it's going to be really weird to work with. That didn't do what I wanted it to do. Cut and sew. Edge. Was my symmetry off? Bastard. No. Go back. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Let's see if that worked. Unfold. Layout. Yay, we have 4 pieces. That's good. It's doing some weird shit here, but it's still doing the thing, so that's fine. You have done model for games. All of my game models are for games. Which games have you worked for? Mostly indie games. Your dream is to be part of some games. Yeah, a lot of people have that dream at the moment. Everyone wants to work in games. Get involved with the indie community. They're always looking for people. Like, there's loads of different projects and people you can be involved with. To be honest, I studied originally to be in the games industry, and then I've ended up in the film industry because I just did. I prefer, like, this is a game model. I prefer game stuff, but game, film, whatever you want done, I can do it. Learn to be broad spectrum. Learn to branch out. Let's delete UVs. Camera base, cut and sew tool. Now, as far as I remember, I don't have symmetry on this piece, so I'm going to turn off symmetry. Let's do it this way. Oh, wrong button. Why do I have an edge loop in here? Do you know what? I'm not going to argue with it for now. So all these little sharp edges as well, I'm going to put a cut here so that it can unfold properly and flatten out nicely. Otherwise, it's not going to give me a very good edge to work with, even though this is going to be pretty well hidden in the final piece. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. Unfold, layout. Yeah, we can work with that. Delete UVs, UV, camera base, UV, cut and sew tool, edge. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Hmm. I wonder what I was doing here. Hmm. Okay. So we have a whole pile of UVs to play with now. Whoa, look at this chaos. And this is where things start crashing in Maya. So there's a very good chance that I am going to hit save. I'm going to edit delete all by type history. And let's see what you guys have been chatting about while I've been doing this. Let's see what I missed out on. Oh, wow. Lots of things. Right. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Let me see. Let me see. There's so much. You want to see UV packaging? We might do UV packaging in the next stream, so I'll pick this up on Thursday and then carry on working with it. What I'll do in between is I will get the rest of these UVs kind of cut and sewn and all the rest of it, so that it's really quick and easy for us to get into, and then we can, yeah, start doing some UV packing on Thursday. I think that'll be good. Hey, Jonte. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us. What software is this? This is Maya. We are currently working in Maya to do UVs and retopology. Do you know Unitize? Yes, it's really good. It's a good way of doing it. For game characters that you worked on for past projects, what's the average time frame given to you to model and texture a character? It very much depends on what the character is, what the game is, what the budget is. It fluctuates wildly. It can be anything from 3 months to 2 weeks. It depends. Usually it's about 2 months, 3 months for characters. For hero characters, you get a longer time to work on it, obviously. But for smaller characters, you're gonna have to push them out fairly quickly. For one of the things that I was working on, I was doing just the character sculpting, and I was pushing out one character every 5 days that was getting sculpted. And then retopology was about a week on retopology and UVs, and then about a week on texturing. Was fast. It was hard. Yeah, most of the games that I've worked for have been indie games, so it's been indie productions that I've been able to work on, which has been great. Have you ever done some rig? I have. I've done rigging in Maya in the past. I didn't love it. Yeah, no. I'm out. That's me. That's out. I'm terrible at that. Join us over on Discord. If you guys come and hang out on Discord. Let me grab that link for you again. If you are on our Discord channels, you will find. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the link for you. There we go. So this is our Discord server. Come and join us on Discord. Come and say hi to us there. I'm there. We've got loads of people from Firestorm Studios itself that are there. So Efren's around as well. He does a lot of rigging and other things. So if you've got questions about rigging, he's your guy. Go and find Efren. I think he's Rain on there. So if you'll find him on there, you'll meet him. Rhizome UVs. Yes, Rhizome is really, really good. So Rhizome is something that we will get into later on in the process of this. I'll show you how to Rhizome your way through life. Rhizome is great. It is really, really useful. Highly recommend if you haven't explored Rhizome yet. It's really good. Let's not click that button just yet because it's looking a bit sketchy there. I am going to have I answered all the questions. Have I missed anything? Did I miss anything? No, I didn't. Okay, good. I am going to be leaving for today. I will be back again Thursday on this channel where we'll continue doing retopology and UVs. Tomorrow I am over on Zbrush Live. I will be streaming for Max on Zbrush Live where I will be continuing a new project. We are working on a new character and I will be doing some cloth sculpting. We're just about out of doing the block out on things, so we're starting to get to the fun points now, which is nice. So we'll do some cloth sculpting tomorrow in Zbrush Live, retopology and UVs on Firestorm Studio on Thursday. In between that, don't forget to check out all of the other streamers that we have here on Firestorm Studio. We have got some incredible talent that are working with us to bring you live sessions every single day. I think this week we have live streams, which is absolutely phenomenal. As always, it is wonderful getting to hang out with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click buttons, leave comments, share with your friends, do all of those things. All of those little things that you can do really make a difference to us at Firestorm. You are the guys that keep things running for us. You are what keep my lights on, my many, many lights on. So thank you very much for that. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Don't forget to be good. Be good to yourself, be good to other people, and go and touch some grass. Have fun, guys. Bye.